Jantic Journal coming back at you guys with a little bit of like an update video. It's gonna be a quick one today. And we got one race in the books up here in New England. You can see I got some new paint in the frame. I'm gonna do the body, that's coming next, the fenders and hoods and whatnot. But I stripped them all down, got some decent paint. It came out alright, went with some semi-gloss, just shut all the frame and put it back together. But what this video is about is the reason there's gear oil on the floor. So this is the first race with the new BP V-twins on here, and what ended up happening was rip the input snout right off of the transmission. So the issue is that I've never supported the transmission input shafts in any of the builds I've done. However, I've never really had a motor with any power. So it's kind of like not the worst problem to have. But anyways, we got to take care of it. So let me show you what the plan is. So as you can see, it broke this aluminum boss clean off. So all the way around. So I just wanted to show you this real quick so you get an idea of what I'm actually trying to accomplish here. So what I'm going to do is weld a piece of plate in this opening here, and then basically make up like a bushing on the lathe to support this this piece. It's commonly how it's done. I should have done it that way when I built this, but like I said, I've never had an issue before. However, I've always run lower power machines. So you know, traditionally a lot of the guys building the racing mowers start with already supporting that shaft. You can buy the whole plates and everything pretty much ready to roll. So yeah, this thing let go about a couple laps into the qualifier, and was raced on a really bumpy track. And you know, if you stay in the throttle on a bumpy track, which of course you do, you just put a lot of shock on the drivetrain. And you know, these casings are just weak. There's just no two ways about it. So let me show you what we're putting together here. So here's the material we used. Just 1/4-inch plate steel. I think it's 4 inches wide, and some pretty thick wall tubing here. This is 1 1/8 ID, 1 5/8 OD, so 1/4-inch wall thickness. Just cold rolled steel. No, you know, chromoly or anything like that. And then these are the parts. Like I said, it's going to be a quick video. I already did the work on them. This is nothing. Just cut it out with an angle grinder and a hole saw in the Bridgeport. But this was the piece that took some time because the boss on these is tapered. So you can't just do a straight through hole. So I got this thing tapered pretty darn well. It's really tight. There's no wiggle or anything at it at all. Did it on the old antique lathe over there. So yeah, I got the antique south bend here. Don't have like a proper taper attachment on this thing, so I was just using this. I don't even know what this adjustment is, but it didn't like it at all. It was really like, I felt like I was pushing the limits of the machine with this cheap boring bar and all that junk. But anyways, the part did come out pretty good, so I'm happy with it. It's not the smoothest finish in there, but it really doesn't have to be. So with that tapered bushing on there, pretty much the plan is just to weld this in place. Sorry about the bad lighting, fluorescent lights out. I gotta switch it to an LED. But yeah, I'm just gonna weld this thing in here, something like that. Use my magnets, get it in place. If I was gonna do this thing today, like say I was building this mower new today, I just would have went 1/4-inch plate all the way across. But I already got my holes drilled. I already got the transmission located nice and square like I want. I don't want to start that process over. I'm just gonna go ahead and weld this in the open area. It should be plenty strong. I can't imagine there's going to be all that much force on there. As long as this thing's welded in halfway decent with that support right there, that should be plenty to prevent this from happening again. And here it is, all jigged up, ready to go. Got the magnets holding it in place. Going to go ahead and tack it from underneath, just enough to make sure it's nice and secure. Then I'm going to take the transmission out and finish up the welding on the top side. So let's see how this thing fits in. Got a little bit of paint on there. Got notifications going off on the phone. This is the legit first try since it's been welded. I can't imagine. There goes the light. Can't imagine anything distorted that much, but that's pretty much going to be in place. Going to go ahead and look underneath. Convenient that the light fell on the floor. And yeah, put a little bit of paint under here too. So that's pretty much it. I'm just going to sink my 6 bolts in there, put my pulley on, put my belt on, everything. Still got to figure out which race I'm going to right now. I might be doing a gearing adjustment depending on which track I'm going to, but I should know that by the very end of the video, by the outro. Alrighty, we got the transmission bolted in. We got our gear change set up because we're going to Bull's Farm. Leaving tonight, just about getting ready. Here's a sneak peek at the 2022 paint schemes. The gray was supposed to be like a what they call a battleship gray, but it looks pretty good on camera, I guess, but in person it definitely is like a baby blue to me. So yeah, it'll look good when I get it all decaled up. Probably go maybe orange number or something like that. I don't know if yellow's quite gonna pop out. Probably go orange. And for those of you who stuck around to the end of the video, I got a tire question. So I got some turf savers mounted, the 2-ply thinner stuff. For the clay track at Bull's Farm. I haven't experimented with this yet, but I think that's what a lot of the guys do. So I'm running those instead of the Turf Masters, which I got over here, which I'm going to bring as spares. My question is, how many of you guys run tubes? How many of you guys don't? I generally have run tubes in the past, including on these 2 tires here, but I've also had my fair share of tube failures. Sometimes I'll have them where the tube, you can like take the tube, the old ruptured tube out of the tire and tell that it was like, you know, it was like bunched up and started chafing or something on the sidewall and failed. I've also had it happen where they fail just when I'm inflating them to try to set the bead. See, I'm just wondering what you guys do for your tubes. If you know, what kind of lubricant you use or what methods. You know, what I've always done in the past too is I've inflated the tube all the way, set the bead, took the you know, inside of the Schrader valve right out to deflate the tube all the way to hopefully relax it and get rid of any creases, kinks, you know, bunching up, whatnot. That's how I've always done them. But again, sometimes it fails just on when I'm trying to set the bead. These are the tubes I've run generally. These are just like from Tractor Supply. This time when I was setting the bead on one of these tires, it actually split right on the seam. So it's like, I don't know, maybe that was a defective one. But anyways, these are actually tubeless right now. So it's kind of going to be a first with these tires and with no tubes. So that's going to do it for the video. Catch you guys next time on the Jantic Journal.